Today I'm looking at the latest Transmission release, number 6 in their range, which is 2 boxes, Televised Terror in Franco Spain. It has 2 films here. One is a telephone box which you just can't escape from, and the other is a television that slowly consumes the viewer's life. This was something that I was really excited about getting my hands on, but even I wasn't prepared for how awesome this was. This is strange, unusual horror tales, but not in the traditional monster sense. There's no kind of gothic castles or slashers or supernatural mythology. These are 2 very compact, very strange nightmares about modern life, about technology and the control and the quiet terror of being trapped inside a society that watches, that judges, that consumes, and does not really help. Now, on to the first film in this set, which I absolutely adored, La Cabina. It's the first film, it's 36 minutes, and the setup could not be simpler. A group of officials install a telephone box outside a block of flats, and a man walks inside to make a call. The door closes and it can't be opened again. That's it. That's the tiny premise for this, and it builds up to one of the most unsettling short films that I've seen. And what begins as some kind of comedy quickly builds into a social horror. There's the way people gather around and they start to build a community outside. They're laughing, they offer kind of half-hearted help, they treat the man inside this box as entertainment. And the longer he remains stuck, the more horrifying this situation becomes. And what makes La Cabina so effective is how ordinary everything is. The telephone box is there in broad daylight. It's not hidden in some dank, dark alley. It's placed in a normal public scene. He's trapped in full view. Everybody can see him, they can all try and help, they can talk to him, but nobody can really save him. And it's that horrible idea. There is something deeply uncomfortable about watching a man become a public spectacle while his fear slowly turns from embarrassment into full-blown terror and is used as entertainment for those watching. You get the main actor, Jose Luis Lopez Vasquez, who is incredible in La Cabina. His performance is built entirely around the physical panic, the facial expression and the silent despair. He begins to say this short as an ordinary, slightly fussy man who's almost embarrassed by the situation. But then he begins to gesture. He smiles awkwardly. He tries to remain some resemblance of dignity. But you can almost see the moment where that inconvenience in his day turns to pure fear. And then that fear becomes humiliation. And then the humiliation goes into something more existential horror-like, because the film is so controlled and so measured that the shift in the performance really matters, and he carries this whole nightmare. I cannot praise this film highly enough. It was incredibly effective, really punchy, and at 36 minutes it does exactly what it wants to do, and it's incredible. And there is a wonderful commentary which I'll talk about in the extras, which I immediately put on as soon as it was finished because I wanted to know more about this amazing film. The second film is 1 hour 6 minute El Televisor, and this pairs wonderfully with La Cabina. because again, it's about a box. This man wants a TV, but not just a TV. He wants the best TV. This TV set is a symbol of his desire and dedication. It kind of represents modern comfort for this man. It represents progress in his life. He is a man who, at the start of this, is really easy to attune to. He loves his family. He has been saving diligently for this one luxury that's going to make everything so worthwhile, all the effort he's put into his life. And there's a great moment at the start where he talks to his wife and he's like, do you need anything? Can I get you anything? Is there anything little luxury that you want? What about the kids? Would they want something? Do you want a holiday instead? What can I do? And there's that sacrificial nature to it where he has saved the money. He's worked hard for it, but he's still willing to prioritise the family. It's immediately ingratiating for this character. You know exactly who he is. You are with him and you feel for him.
Claro que es el mejor. Y ahora que puedo comprarlo, pienso si no le faltará nada a ti o a los chicos.
No, Enrique, cómpralo.
El Televisor really works because it takes that consumer desire and turns it into pure horror. The television isn't scary because it looks evil. It's scary because it's normal, because it's a want. Everybody else is starting to adopt it. He consumes the TV, which then consumes our viewer, and I really like that aspect to it. What I like about this one is how it becomes a normal family at the start of it. How, as our main character starts to watch the TV, he becomes slowly consumed by the TV. It starts to take over his life.
Saltó del televisor y se escondió detrás de las cortinas, de las cortinas de la ventana. Fui hacia allí, pero ya no estaba.
It starts to dismantle that warm, loving family that was seen at the heart of that, and slowly starts to dismantle it. And it's watching the pain and the suffering that is on his family as he neglects them for something new and shiny, and that can be incredibly heartbreaking. But the TV box as a horror image is terrific. It's a machine of communication or connecting people from one way to another, but it's also cutting off realistic connection as well. It becomes a symbol of control within this world.
Hice esa caja. La puse delante de la pantalla y a través de ese agujero puedo verlo todo. Pero ellos no pueden salir porque es muy pequeño.
It has this dark humour running through both of these films, actually, where they're not horror in a straightforward way. They're almost comical to start with before they start to ramp up the tension, particularly in La Cabina, which was my favourite of the two, where it's so funny and you're laughing with him, then you're laughing at him, and then you're horrified with the main character in it as well. This release is excellent. I absolutely adore it. I think it's two films I was really curious about, and they delivered. The ending of El Televisor is incredible and bold and wild. I love it. La Cabina is more just contained in that little short oddity that just works really well. As always, there's amazing extras on this. Let's dive in and have a little look at them, particularly that commentary I want to talk about. Here we are in the disc for two boxes. Let's go to the special features. First up, we have audio commentaries. We have an audio commentary on La Cabina with Reese Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton, which is fantastic. People who do Inside Number 9 and The League of Gentlemen, my personal favourite, talk about this as a real influence, and particularly on something that they worked on to compete with, try and make these half-hour, really impactful horror shorts. Next, we have an audio commentary on El Televisor by Jonathan Rigby and Kevin Lyons. Next, we have Antonio Lazaro Rebol. In this newly filmed interview, Spanish popular cinema expert Antonio Lazaro Rebol explores the career of Chicho Ibanez Serrador, one of Spanish horror's most influential figures, and the importance of the legendary anthology series that would go on to produce El Televisor as special one-off episode, Historias para no dormir, Tales to Keep You Awake. And this runs for 37 minutes 34 seconds and is wonderful. It makes me want to see more of that series. It makes me interested in the people who curated and made this story and created something special. Next, we have Jose Luis Garcia. In this archival interview, the co-screenwriter of La Cabina, Jose Luis Garcia, discusses his experiences writing the film and working on the production with director Antonio Merchero. This is originally filmed in October 2025 and newly edited for transmission in 2026, and it runs for 18 minutes 19 seconds. Again, wonderful talking head of a man who created this incredible story and just his remembrances of that. Next we have Antonio Merchero Santos. In this archival piece, Antonio Merchero Santos, son of La Cabina director Antonio Merchero, revisits the locations of the infamous original phone box, and this runs for 13 minutes 6 seconds, originally filmed in October 2025 and newly edited for transmission in 2026, and the duration, as I said, 30 minutes 6 seconds. And this is just wonderful. You get to see him talking, looking at some of the locations of the film. Next we have El Televisor 1999 press conference. This archival press conference was held on the 25th anniversary of the original broadcasting of El Televisor and features writer and director Chicho Ibanez Serrador discussing his film's impact and legacy. And it was originally filmed for Spanish television in 1999 and runs for 6 minutes 47 seconds. Also included in this set is a 36-page booklet which has the information on the cast and crew. It has 2 boxes, Televised Terror in Franco Spain by Alex Mendibile, and then we have Fear of the Box, the late-night legend of La Cabina on British television by Paul Martinovich. And this was a really great read. It feels like somebody who's discovered it on TV, explaining it to you and kind of school the next day. It really evoked that type of feeling. And that's the extras for 2 boxes. So there we have it. 2 boxes, incredible release. Highly recommend it. It's something that I really enjoyed. I will go back to La Cabina a lot. El Televisor is a little bit more heavy, and I may not return to that as much. 2 everyday objects, 2 nightmare boxes, and 1 very unsettling double bill. I can't praise this one highly enough. I thought it was an excellent release and well worth you picking up. So please pick it up and let me know in the comment box below whether you watched this. If you loved it as much as I did, what was your favourite of the 2 shorts? I just really want to know on this one. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership programme and demandvfilm.com always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.